Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS. In today's video, we'll be looking into the political aspects of your Kadambas. Alright, let's get into the video. Now, see, before you see Kadambas, there's something you have to know. What is it? By the way, what is it? Anything specific that you know about Kadambas or unique? Okay, drop it in the comment section below. Alright, see, Kadambas, okay, are where, okay, the native indigenous, okay, look at the word I'm using, native indigenous, alright, language of the soil, okay, the concept of, okay, this region is associated with a particular language. Look at this, a region associated with a particular language started from here. Today we have a lot of northern states, southern states, eastern states, west eastern states, north eastern states, central Indian states. Yeah, and each place has one specific, if not every state has a specific thing, at least a group of states have a specific language. Yeah, so here is when that nativity, indigenous, a language of the soil concept began. That can be traced back to your Kadambas. Okay, what is such a language? One such language is your Kannada. Okay, Kannada as an administrative language can be associated with your Kadambas. Right? See, up until now, what was the scenario? We used to use Sanskrit, we used to use Prakrit. Okay, but now regions are associated with the specific language of that place. Alright, this trend continues in an uphill from now on. Alright, look at this. Kadambas emerged as the first indigenous dynasty to use Kannada. Okay, this was more specifically, like I'm not telling this was the official language, right? This was also used for administrative purposes. Alright, the language of the soil. Remember, we associated a region with a particular language. Historical starting point in the study of development of are basically language, region, geopolitical entity, right? Now, here we said language of the soil, language, right? Now, this will take the political aspects as in, right, preservers of this particular language. This region means this particular language. So, this is how the geography and political, okay, gets associated to form geopolitical entity. That is your modern day state. So, in a way you can tell that, right, when geography plus polity gets associated, it leads to geopolitical entity. Today's modern day states. See, when I say modern day state, earlier state can also be used to represent the concept of a nation. Here I am telling with the federal characteristics, okay, with respect to federalism I mean that modern day state, right, example Karnataka, right. So, the beginning of this is seen from here. That is the unique feature you have to know about your Kadambas, alright. Next, look at this, what was the territorial extent of your Kadambas? Okay, the capital of it being your Banavasi. Alright. Next, so this is the list of kings in your Kadamban dynasty. Right. Here instead of discussing one king after another, right, we will discuss it in a form of holistic way for your Kadambas. Okay. Look at this. Your Mayura Sharma was the founder or the one who laid foundation to your Kadamba dynasty. Now, before we enter into these things, alright, let's dial back a little bit in to see how did Kadambas come in. Who were the contemporaries? See, it is said that your Kadambas are of Brahmin origin. Okay, your Varnashrama, 4 Varnas, what are those? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. In that they fall under Brahman Varna, right? Now he goes to Kanchipuram or capital city Kanchi. The contemporaries at this period of time were your Pallavas. Okay, the contemporaries were at this period of time were your Pallavas. There is a story that says that when Mayura Sharma went to Kanchi, right, the Pallavas insulted him. He went to Kanchi. Why? See, we said Kanchi with respect to Pallavas. We have already did a video on that. The link is posted below in the description. Please have a look at that. Okay, so the Pallavas were having capital city as Kanchi. So if Kanchi is the capital city, that also meant that it was a growing zone. Okay, it was a zone of education, literary activity, etc., trade, right? So what happened when Mayura Sharma visited the capital city of Kanchi? He was insulted there. He and his guru. So what happened? He swore vengeance. He swore that he will bring the Pallavas, okay, the ones who insulted him will be brought under him. Alright, this is one version of the story. Now if you go by the story, yeah, okay, your Kadambas overtake your Pallavas, right? Now if you look at the contemporaries of your Kadambas, it will mostly be your Gangas. Okay, so this is one version how the Kadambas came into picture. This is another story. A person was born below the Kadamba tree. He was gifted by Lord Shiva and Parvati in Sahyadri mountains. What was the things? Kadamba tree, alright, Sahyadri mountains, okay, Lord Shiva and Parvati blessed the child. Okay, thus began your Kadambas, right? This is one claim. Another claim states that no, they were not of Brahmin origin, but they were of tribal origin. Now, why are they claiming something to be of a tribal origin? See, one other thing is when your Mayura Sharma went to wage war with your Pallavas or bring them down, he took the help of your tribals. So, a theory originates from there that no, he was also of tribal origin. Okay, so these are the theories associated with the origin or the beginning of your Kadambas. Alright, now see, Mayura Sharma is the one who began, okay, founded the Kadamba dynasty. It is mentioned in your Talagunda inscriptions. Alright, look at this, Kannada Dravida family. Alright, southern language Varna. Okay, during your Mayura Sharma was northern Karnataka and Konkan region. Alright, moving ahead. Mayura Sharma, see, there are a lot of stories associated with Mayura Sharma. It was also said that he was a very learned, okay, he was a very learned Pandit, and also your great scholar Kalidasa visited Kadambas. Alright, so there are multiple stories associated with it. One last thing is with respect to literature, language and education. They take a priority here. Understanding? Next. This is the Kanchi city. Remember the story I told you? Mayur Sharma goes to your Kanchi city for gaining the education. See, this was a Brahmin. In the Varna system, generally, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra pair, this will be the one who will be doing king. He will be the one who will be assisting him. But here, he takes the role of a Kshatriya, right? Now, because he has taken the role of a Kshatriya, doesn't mean the other two things can interchange. They still followed the Varna system. They still followed the Varnashramas, right? This two interchanging was seen, but that did not affect this two, okay? Or the last two Varnas. The plight of this Varna still remained the same, alright? Nice. Look at this. This is your Kadamba tree. States that, okay, Kadamba tree, okay, is the one that began your, or the origin dates back to your Kadamba dynasty, is this Kadamba tree. Alright, next. So this is the Talgunda inscription, okay. This is where it speaks about your emergence of Kadamba dynasty, okay, the beginning of Kadamba dynasty, okay. Look at this. Mayura Sharma was succeeded by his son Kangavarma. Alright. Now, his son Bhagiratha came to power. See, one thing I told you was the contemporaries. Your Kadambas first came to power by suppressing your Pallavas. The contemporaries were Gangas, right? A lot of other people. And here, this period of time, you will see Chola, Chera, Pandya, everyone. One very special and unique thing about Kadambas is, See the emergence of Kadambas, okay, we'll draw it like this. The emergence of Kadambas or the decline of Kadambas, right, both were local in nature. What do I mean by this? See, the beginning of Kadambas began, alright, like the story I told you, goes to Kanchi, Pallavas, okay, insulted, starts the empire, all those things, fine. But the decline was not due to any outside influence or someone else coming in and taking over the period of land, nothing like that. Okay, the decline was due to the in political fightings. First thing, second thing, the contemporaries grew successful, the contemporaries grew powerful. Okay, so the decline was again two reasons, within the kingdom, and also one of the reasons is the contemporaries started gaining more powerful. This was the decline, this was the emergence. Both of this was very local in nature, right? Even though it was very local in nature, it created a huge amount of, okay, a change with respect to history, southern history, Dravida history, Kannada history, okay, in the southern regions of India. Alright, now look at this. His son Bhagiratha, who came after the power, basically. Subsequently, the kingdom started increasing also, at the same point of time decreasing also. See, Varma, almost, right, you cannot see a consistent just increase only nor decrease only. There is both seen. Again, one more thing with respect to Kadambas is you can see gradual increase, at the same point decrease also. Why? Because the contemporaries were growing more and more strong every day. The influence of each of them was on the same place, okay, the same southern zone. For that reason, okay, the region of influence under Kadambas kept on increasing, kept on decreasing also, right? So look at this, when we say Bhagiratha, who came to power, retrieved his father's losses, okay, indicating consequent decrease, consequent increase also. Look at this, the Talgunda inscription claims Bhagiratha as the lord of Kadamba land or Great Sagara. Alright, now the next in line to becoming will be your Raghu, right? He restores the kingdom for his family and then it is taken over by your Kakustaka Varma. Under him is where your Kadamba dynasty reaches the pinnacle, okay, pinnacle of your Kadamban power. Alright, look at this, rule of Kakushta Varma, okay, kingdom reached the pinnacle of success. So basically he was called as ornament of the family, indicating he was the crown jewel. Alright, if there is two names you have to know for sure, one is Mayura Sharma, another is Kakushtaka Varma. Okay, one began it, one took it to the pinnacle or the top or the peaks. Alright, look at this, the Halasi and Halmidi inscriptions also hold him in of high esteem. Okay, basically what did he do? So basically what did this Kakushtaka Varma do? So basically not just with respect to your regional influence, but also influence of the kingdom, right, with respect to be it culture, art, architecture, linguistic, literature, etc. all flourished under this period of time. The administration was also effective. Alright, moving on, this is your Halmidi inscription in Hassan district. One thing with respect to your inscriptions is, right, the inscriptions are also in Kannada language. Further on we will see a lot of inscriptions, right, copper plates, grants, etc. We do see that in Kannada language, indicating the priority the language had over the region. Alright, next, look at this, Santivarma. This particular king, right, this is true of any of the kings if you see in majority of the dynasties. So we've seen that in Chola dynasty also, right. So with respect to this particular king, he was very much praised for his physical beauty, his grace, his charm, okay, the way he was winning over people, right. So there are a lot of inscriptions about his, okay, physical appearance. Okay, look at this. Santivarman is also known for wearing 3 crowns to display his prosperity, attracting the attention of the enemies, the natural enemies being your Pallavas. See, now majority inscriptions pe you cannot take it as it is, right? So how do you wear 3 crowns? One on one or you fuse 3 crowns into one? So basically the thing is, these things are sometimes in the inscriptions it is more metaphorical in nature, or could be true also, right? The designs could have been way off the charts back then, but what we're trying to tell is in a light-hearted manner, not to take it personally. Certain times the inscriptions, okay, do exaggerate, alright, inscriptions, copper plates, or even history for that matter, right, with respect to personal biodatas or with respect to biographies, there is sometimes embellishment seen, alright. Now, one other thing with respect to Kadambas is, see, your Kadambas were Brahmins, right? The occupation or the role that they were playing in the Varna system was that of a Kshatriya, okay, which means they did perform your Ashwamedha Yagya, right, Vajpaya, all these things did happen, right. Santivarma's son, okay, Mrigesha Varma faced Pallavas and Gangas with considerable success, alright. Again, your Halasi plates describe him as destroyer of the eminent family of Gangas and destructive fire to the Pallavas, right. The contemporaries were now joining hands to defeat the Kadambas. One other thing with respect to your Kadambas is they had good amount of marital relationships with their, okay, counterparts or contemporaries, so they could make an ally, okay, so they could form a connection. See, for example, I told you Kalidasa was sent to the court of a Kadambas, so that was also to set up one of the marital alliance, right. So there have been instances like this, okay. Now this is your Kadamba coins, alright. With respect to trade, the capital city of Banavasi became very important, alright. Trade is a very important attribute. We'll be seeing more about this in the administration and society part of the Kadambas, alright. Next, so one of the symbol of Kadambas, okay, this is a very important symbol. We see the significance of this in their coins, okay, with respect to their emblems, okay, with respect to their sculptures. So it's a pretty important symbol, that is that of. So on the whole, if you have to look at Kadambas, okay, it is a very important, okay, dynasty for the southern region, because our concept of modern day state, and again I'm speaking about the federalism, right, modern day states dates its history back to this period of time, okay. So on this front, it is very important to know about not just the political front but also the impact of it on the present times, okay. Now that's it for the Kadambas on the political front. If you do like our video, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it along with your friends. Thank you.